Hi, it's Dominique. Um, I had a rant. I was watching a YouTube video a couple days ago. Um, Somebody else I subscribe to, his channel is called Remedy H, and he was talking, and it reminded me about something I used to think about often, and I'm confused because what he said made sense. And I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. Because we all trying to make it. Everybody trying to make it, save their money and spend it wisely. And everybody's frugal and trying to just keep their paper stacked. But for those who don't spiritually know, I guess this wouldn't apply to them, but, and I'm not gonna lie, because I have made purchases from people, buying sage or crystals or getting readings, tarot card readings. But what confuses me is there are a lot of these keywords that they use, like, abundance, appreciation, gratitude, acknowledge, and giving and receiving, and it doesn't make sense to me because all of these things describe the universe, along with love and, being in your heart, or, etc. And then the minute, that they begin to touch base on the things that people really need or people are really looking for because they don't have the tools or the knowledge or the skills or whatever, a price appears on it. And this is not me saying that these people are bad or they can't be trusted, or, but when they tell you all these things that you were so deserving of, only for it to be turned around and to be advertised, for these certain things, it comes with a price. Now, like I said, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle because everybody needs. But the fact of the matter is, with the way the economy is going right now, the dollar is well on its way to holding no more value. And we're quote unquote going into this age of cryptocurrency, and even that comes with terms and conditions and stipulations. So it's like not everybody's going to want to turn to that. And I guess, the big question is, you YouTubers who are selling your skills, what's going to happen when the dollar disappears and not everybody is hip with the cryptocurrency? Like, are you just going to, like, that part of your flock, are you just not going to be there for them anymore? Or, not saying that you have to be, because you do have to do for yourself, but I guess, what I'm honestly trying to say is how is it so simple to preach? Okay, if the universe is full of love and abundance and giving, all you have to do is reach out and ask for it, and and they'll have your spirit guides and your angels will help you, which they do because they help me out all the time. But I don't ever recall having to pay for a dream. I don't recall having to pay for an answer when they gave it. Like I said, I've paid for readings too, and I bought crystals and candles and herbs and all different kinds of things from people who were selling because, well, that's what the reality is. But the other reality is that you melanated people who are selling to melanated people, all the while telling them that they deserve everything the universe has to offer, and we ourselves being a reflection of the universe. It, like, why haven't we come up with a system of trade? I remember talking about that a few times with my ex, and I remember when I would talk about it, I would always have this image in my mind that it would, it was, and it would just be my imagination, but there was always this little community or whatever, and everybody knew each other. Not everybody knew each other, but there was some type of familiarity, and there was just, I would imagine, why that it was just a trade system rather than coming out the pocket, because not everybody can come out the pocket, and it's like blessings this and blessings that, and people have to pay for blessings now. Like it's confusing because I mean, yeah, they make their videos, they go online, they make their videos, and they have a lot of things to say and very, very much vital information, but the actual tools, if the patrons of your page or your channel are so deserve, like if they deserve all these things so much, if they deserve it, and then you turn around and it's like, I'm selling it for a purchase of $10.99 plus shipping and handling, you can have the tools, but you deserve it so much because you deserve it. So if you just go onto my page and pay the $10.99, you will get everything that you deserve. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense to anybody? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it does because of the reality that we live in, but realities are ever changing. If melanated people are reflections of the universe, that's like if you had a house on your own land and you have an apple tree growing in your backyard. Okay, you planted the seed, you waited for that tree to grow, you waited patiently for it to grow as tall as it can, and now you're waiting on the apples, and you're watching those grow and sprout and bloom, and then finally the apples ripen. They're ready to be plucked, but none of them are falling. And then you go up to the tree and you're like, well, I planted you and I was patient, I waited for you to grow, and now your apples are ready. I would like an apple. And the tree goes, yes, you planted me. I grew because you deserved it. You deserve these apples because you planted me. But I need you to drop something at the base of my trunk so that I can drop an apple down to you. You deserve this apple, but I need something in return for you to get the apple because you do deserve it. But $10.99, please. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not going off or nothing, But it just it's contradicting and it's confusing because there are all these big words, these big beautiful words. And it's great because you use them in your affirmations, and yeah, you know, that you see it come to light right before you, and if you pay attention and you notice them and you continue to acknowledge and recognize them. But if if you can reach out to your spiritual guides and your angels in the universe, and all it takes is a thank you and some acknowledgement, with us being a reflection of the universe, why can't that be enough for us among ourselves, amongst each other? Because let's face it, the way the world is going right now, every so-called black person, don't nobody like us. The majority does not like us. We have been called devils. We have been devalued as non-humans, which we're not, but not in the context that they're pushing to the masses. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, so what happens when the dollar runs out and there's no more money circulating for people to sell and buy? Because not everybody's going to hop on this cryptocurrency. I'm not. I'm going to be asked out. I'm not going to be reaching out to nobody I normally subscribe to because I can't afford your help. I can't afford your assistance. So what's the point in even, like, what's the point? Like, I'm not saying that they can't do what they doing, because like I said, everybody is trying to make it. There was one video I saw where she was talking about not placing so much value on the dollar, but if you're selling something, if you are requiring, if you require some type of payment for you to give your assistance, that it sounds like you have placed some type of value on your finances. She broke it all the way down, how she worried only to find out she had nothing to worry about. And then she was grateful, gratitude, appreciation. But if that's all it takes, if all it takes is for you to acknowledge your people, your spiritual people, to keep the blessings coming. And we are reflections of the universe, because the universe is just so giving and loving, full of abundance, and all these other things. Money that is non-existent, it doesn't even exist. Like, it only exists because that's the reality we live in right now. I mean, we're all coming up out of it, but that's the reality we live right now. So we kind of have to weave and bob and make our way around it and kind of survive in it. But if we're in control of our realities as much as we say we are, if our moods and our actions and our words contribute to our realities as much as we say they do, why can't we let the dollar go and trade or just give? Because that's what the universe does. That's what nature does. That's what nature does. Pine trees grow, they drop the pine cones turn to, and it just keeps on going. Like, can you imagine a flower charging the bee admission to land on its petals and take its nectar? You can take all the nectar you want, but I need more than just the pollen that you're spreading. Like, I need more. I need more of whatever it is you have in order for me to let you take this pollen to repollinate the rest of us. Is that a booger? No. But It makes no sense to me. Like, it doesn't make sense to me because I hate spending money. I hate needing the money to have to purchase the tools that I need. I hate having to go to work for money. Like, I am tired of the value of the dollar. I am sick of it. I am so ready to get to a place where all it takes is a thank you and some acknowledgement, some appreciation and gratitude. Like, it should be. It just doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense. If the universe is all these wonderful things and we are reflections of the universe, why can't we get on a level, that full level with the universe, and be, you know, give it a, like, it's easy for everybody to say, yeah, just give out your love freely. Yeah, give out your love freely. And love comes in all different kinds of forms. Yeah, it costs to get the real things that you need. It's easy to get it. It's free. The advice is free. Because they'll tell you in a heartbeat, yeah, get your crystals, get your sage, stock up on your candles, do all this, that, and the third. If you go to my page, I'm selling it, but you deserve it. Like, that, it makes no sense to me. And I'm not mad. I'm not upset. It's just, it's confusing. Like, where, like, or even if you ate the apple that fell from the tree, and when you get to the core of the apple, then the apple turns around and says, wait, I can't let you take another bite, or I can't let you split me open for my seeds until you give me something. You deserve these seeds to plant another apple tree because the universe needs this tree to be planted. The act of giving and the love that you put into planting the seed. But before you get the seed, or they tell you, if you go here and you buy this, and then you come back and give it to me after you bought it, after you pay your money, I will give you my seed to plant, or the bee and the flower. Like, it. Or can you imagine? Can you imagine a fish laying her eggs and she charges the male fish to sprinkle his sperm for nature to take place, for something natural to take place, for the cycle to happen, or the tree charging the squirrel to take an acorn because the acorns aren't falling freely because the tree needs some currency to drop its acorns, or after the squirrel buries its acorn and then the soil tells the squirrel you can't have it back until you pay up, or you can't bury your acorn here until you pay up, or I won't tell you where you buried your acorn until you, like, it doesn't make sense. You deserve this acorn. You deserve it. You deserve everything I'm telling you. You deserve your tools, your sages, your incense. You deserve to feel protected with these tools, all for the price of $10.99. And I'll do you one better. If you purchase items that total $25 and up, you can get 10% off. You can get 2 bags of chips for $1, 50 cents, or pay 50 cents each. That doesn't sound too much like a deal to me. Like, And it's everybody's prerogative. It's everybody's prerogative. Like if it's everybody's prerogative. I can't speak for everybody, and I'm not speaking for everybody. But those who have these same questions and it baffles them, then this is probably the video for you, because I'm confused too. And it never made sense to me. Like, I always wished there was a way that melanated people can come together and figure out some kind of trading system that doesn't require them to come out of pocket, because the dollar does not technically, it does not exist. None of this shit is real in this matrix. It never existed. Once upon a time, the dollar never existed. Once upon a time, we were all self-sufficient, and we shared our ideas. And I don't understand why or how everybody's so deserving of these things, all for the cost of 1099. And it's not an upset rant or an attitude rant. It's confusing. It makes no sense to tell the people they deserve it, but make sure you click that $ button while you at it. I mean, I get that is what you need. You need the money to provide the product, but if the universe is so, if the universe has this bountiful energy of karmic energy, where it will give back to you for your deeds, wouldn't this fall under that? Does that make sense? Like the whole, pay it back, where you go stand in line at the grocery store and the person in front of you buys your groceries, so you do the same thing for the person behind you, and then the person behind you does the same thing. Like, of course, money is involved, but why can't we be able to assist each other or help each other or be there for each other without placing a price or a value, a weight of value on the thing that needs to be done? And a lot of times they know that these energies need to be uplifted, but all for the price of 1099. They'll sell you, they'll verbally paint the picture in your mind, but all for the price of 1099. They will sell it to you, even though you deserve it. Because if it were up to the universe, if it were up to the cosmos, if it were up to your spiritual family, they would just give it to you, probably. If there's that much abundance. The dollar's losing its value, and we still can't we still can't come up with a way to assist and help each other without placing weight over it. But it's preached that all you have to do for your spiritual guides and your angels and the cosmic, energies or whatever, the universe, is to be thankful. In everything, doesn't matter whether it's you receiving a sign from the physical realm or a sign from the spiritual realm, or it doesn't matter if the sign comes in the form of you being the giver and not the receiver. We're supposed to be reflections of the universe, and we can't let go of this fucking dollar sign. Excuse my language. No, not excused. But it's confusing. It's confusing. And it's almost contradicting to what is being said because we deserve it. Can you imagine how much money would be on the ground if the universe charged us for its assistance, for its love and abundance? Because appreciation, thanks, and gratitude is not enough. No, I need $1 for every time you ask, and then $1 for every time I give it to you. Like, am I wrong? Anybody can tell me now if that does not make, if what I said or am saying does not make sense to you, by all means, please. How are we going to talk about the universe as if it's this vast organism that just gives all this free love and anything and everything else, as long as you believe in yourself and have faith in your angels? But we don't have that same energy towards each other when it comes to the items we need that assists in uplifting our spirits, building our strength. I can no longer count on one hand how many times I purchased a spiritual tool for my sanity. And I am still thankful and grateful, and I appreciate it because I get excited every time my package comes in, and I don't regret spending the money on it, because the money doesn't it holds no real value. But that is the reality that we live in. But for those melanated people who know what I'm talking about, they themselves still hold a value, all the while the universe is so deserving, and we are reflections of the universe. But we can't come up with a trading system to free love and free assistance with that free love. I don't mind spending money everywhere else, fine, fuck it, whatever. But when it comes to us knowing where the energies are spiraling to during these desperate times, and we can't figure out a way to love everybody freely and come up with some sort of system, or just being grateful that you were able to help that person so freely. But no, no, that's not enough. That appreciation isn't enough. See, you need to go on my page and look at all of my items that I'm selling, because all for the price of $10.99, you can get this, that, and the third. It's confusing. That's confusing. And then there are these other issues about that where the seller isn't even may or may not even be true or genuine to what they're selling. They're just in it for the money. Because it's easy to go on Google, look up the item you're trying to sell, take the description, and then remix it. Remix it to make it sound authentic. But nobody's just gonna up and be like, oh well, do you really know what you're talking about, or are you just selling it just because? If everything the universe has to offer is so deserved to the person who needs it or is looking for it or is seeking it. And we are reflections of the universe. Like, there's no way the reality that we live in right now is so pressurizing that we have to charge each other, that we have to sell it, that we have to. No, we don't have to do anything. If we are in control of our own reality and the universe, like, it does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I guess that would be the question or the challenge of it all. Like, so when the dollar goes out the window and cryptocurrency comes creeping in, and those who ain't with that, who's not for that, are you gonna turn your patrons away? Are you gonna turn them away? No, I can't help you because I don't know what to tell you because it costs. I mean, I can direct you to somebody else maybe, or I can give you a link, somebody who might sell it cheaper, or they might not even do that because that means you're going to be taking your business elsewhere. I'm not saying that they would, but this day and age, you can't really put nothing past nobody. I mean, everybody's going the holistic way, the spiritual way. Everybody's cracking out the sage and the smudging sticks and all that, which is fine. But I can't even use Jesus as a reference because he's actually Caesar Borgia. But if I were to, he certainly didn't charge everybody for that bread and that fish. Huh? Huh? What bug? But can you imagine that? Jesus asking for a coin for every piece of bread that he handed out and every piece of fish or whatever the story is one thing if it's offered to you or if it's just given to you, but the charging part, yeah, I'll do it. I'll give it to you for the price of. I'm gonna end the video here and probably come back to it because my mom's asking about this bug, so let me go get it.